Do you know how many species of giraffe there are in Africa? There might be one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9 species. It all depends on what you consider a species. Species do not exist in nature. Individuals exist in nature. The concept of a species was developed in order to cluster animals based upon similarities and differences. Let me illustrate this with a deck of cards. Here we have a deck of cards, and we can all agree, hopefully, that there are 52 cards in a deck. Now, supposing I was to ask you, how many different kinds of cards are in the deck? And some of you were to say, well, there are 2 kinds. There are black cards and red cards. Simple. Others would say, no. There are 4 kinds of cards. You can divide them according to their spade, heart, club, diamond. 4 kinds. And finally, we have those who say, you guys are simply combining too many things, that there are actually 13 cards. They go from deuces to aces. And so the number of kinds of cards depends upon whether you think the color of the cards or the suit of the cards or the face value of the cards is the key thing. Well, this is the problem with the term species. So biologists agree that there are about 8 to 9 different populations of giraffe, but they disagree about the scientific names to attach to those populations of giraffe. Consider a population of thorn-across giraffe. There's about 650, 750 of them. They all live in the Luangwa Valley in Zambia, mostly in South Luangwa National Park, and they have been given 3 different scientific names. Those who subscribe to one species of giraffe in Africa will call them Giraffe camelopardalis. Those who say, no, there are 4 species of giraffe, we'll call them Giraffe tippleskershi. And then there are those who say, hang on, time out. There's 8 species of giraffe, and they're actually unique enough to be considered Giraffe thornicrofti. When you read a headline that says there's now 4 species and not 1 of giraffe in Africa, it's misleading and deceptive, because it isn't that the one species that's been recognized for over 60 years has evolved into 4 separate species. It's that some scientists have decided the best way to cluster these 8 to 9 populations of giraffe is by giving them 4 different scientific names. Now, the crux of the problem was actually identified in 1859 by Charles Darwin. In his book, The Origin of Species, it's a little copy here, he does not define or explain what a species is. He comes up with a mechanism of evolution by natural selection that results in the emergence of species from varieties. And what he writes is, from these remarks, it will be seen that I look at the term species as one arbitrarily given for the sake of convenience to a set of individuals closely resembling each other, and that it does not essentially differ from the term variety. And that's in chapter 2, where he talks about variation in nature. He then emphasizes the point in his final chapter, where he writes, we shall have to treat species in the same manner as naturalists treat genera, who admit that genera are merely artificial combinations made for convenience. This may not be a cheering prospect, but we shall at least be free from the vain search for the undiscovered and undiscoverable essence of the term species. What is the essence of the term species? It's a device invented by scientists to cluster animals according to similarities and differences. Species do not exist in nature. Individuals exist in nature. And there are only about 100,000 individual giraffe in Africa, living in 8 to 9 distinctive populations. And no matter how many species you think there are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it makes no difference. Their numbers are going down.